Hey friends, welcome to script.info. My name is Rizwan Khan, and in this video we are going to continue our web messenger project. So till now we have created the registration form. We are able to register a user in our firebase authentication table, and also we can save user related information in the firestore database. And we have also created a protected route, so the only logged in user can go into the home page of this web messenger application. So in this video we are going to continue with the process of login, so the existing user can log in and navigate to the home page and can do some chat and all. So let's continue. So here we have our home page, and don't do anything over here. So first thing what we will do, we will create an action, and let's go to your auth.action.php file, .js file. So this is our action file, and we have created one action, that is sign up. Now we are going to create one more action, export const sign in. That is going to be an action. It will return a function, asynchronous function like usual, with the parameter dispatch. Okay, so this is an arrow function, and here we can perform a couple of actions, right? So let's we are going to sign in, right? And let's correct the spelling of sign in. Okay, so let's dispatch an action before starting the sign up process. Type, and we'll say auth constants dot login. So we have already created this constant user underscore login, and this is a request. So this is the starting point of our request. Okay, and okay, the login request. Then we will do the login process. So we have already imported in the previous video auth. So with this method, we will call this auth, and we'll call a property or a method that is sign in, right? So we'll do simply auth, call it, and it will give you a method sign in with email and password, right? So you can see this is a method from the Firebase, sign in with email and password, and it requires two parameters, that is user.email. Okay, we are going to get a user object within this sign in action. So user, and then we can have email as well as user.password, right? So this is our sign in method. Once this method will be successful, then we will simply go to the then. So it will return a promise and with some data, then we will execute an arrow function, right? So data. So for the starting part, I will simply console that data. Okay, and next we'll go and catch if there is some error while logging. So we'll say error, and simply this is again an arrow function. Again we'll do the console dot log, and we'll say error. Okay, cool. So this is our sign in action. Now let's move to your login page. This is our login page. Now to dispatch an action, first we need to write a function like that is going to be triggered when someone submit a form. So let's write on submit equals to a function user login, or anything, whatever you want. So user login, and we'll write that function const user login, and this is going to get an event, and we will avoid the default behavior of the browser. So we'll say prevent default, and this is why it comes like that. Okay, let's go and say okay, prevent default, and we'll check if we already have state values. Like you can see the previous videos, we have created the email and password. So let's say email, if email equals to empty. This is a very low level validation I'm writing here right now. We'll see about it later. So we'll say email is required in an alert, and then we'll simply return from the function. Okay, then again we are going to do the same thing for the password. Let's copy and paste here password, and we'll say here password. Save it, and okay, go scroll down, and if both email and password is there, then we'll dispatch an action. So let's get create a dispatch. Let's get it from React Redux. So let's say const and write dispatch equals to use dispatch. This is another hook from React Redux, so we'll use it to dispatch an action, right? So let's call that dispatch. Okay, and then we'll say the sign in action, and again it is going to get an object with email and password. So here we'll say email and password. Now this dispatch will return a promise, so you can further perform then and catch, so like to handle the response, right? Right now this is not my requirement, so let's save it and let's back to your browser and reload your page and also open your console so you can see the actions. And also let's go to your okay, where is my reducer? Auth reducer. Here I'm going to get a lot of things, right? A couple of actions, right? So just for the visualization, we are not using any kind of tools right now for the Redux action dispatch and all. Here I'm going to say action, right? So whatever the action will come here, we will see in the console, right? Now let's back to the browser, reload your page and see console. So let's you can see the couple of default actions already dispatched because of Redux library. That's not our requirement. So let's create a user so you can see the sign up process, or we can use some existing users. So let's imran@webscript.info, password will be 123456 and login. So you can see the action user login request is dispatched, and that is fine. And then this is the response from the firestore, and this means our user is logged in very successful. So let's go and write a couple of actions because it is success. Okay, and we'll say here same actions, like here we have the data. So in the data we are going to have like a display name that is like first name and last name. So we'll say data. As you can see, we have a data, and then we have user, and then we have display name. Right now for this user it is null, but for the other users it will not be null because we have created it before the completion. Oh, okay, forget it. So that's that data user, and we'll say display name. So that is the complete name including first name and last name. We'll say const name, and this is going to be an array. We'll say const, and thanks for my keyboard, first name and equals to name, and this is an array, right? So we'll say here, right? And const last name equals to name, and this is one. So first name, last name we have. Also we need the user ID, right? And also if user is logged in successfully, we are going to store that information in our local storage too. So we'll say const and log, let's get it from this top here. So you can get it from the sign up action, that is the same thing we want. Okay, so let's paste over here, and this is a variable logged in user. So the first name we have already. Let's get rid of this, and then let's get rid of this too. Last name data user.uid, fine, and data.user.email, or also you can use user.email, right? That is totally fine. So we'll say local storage.set item, right? And this is going to be a user name, property name, and then JSON.stringify, and we'll say logged in user, right? Now this is saved in our local storage, and now we are going to dispatch the action. This is going to be a success action. So we'll say $auth constants dot user underscore login underscore success, and then payload, right? So payload is going to be your payload, so that is going to be a user simply. user with the information logged in user. So this will simply dispatch success, okay, and then it will return user details. Or if it is going to be fail case, then we'll again dispatch an action like dispatch, and we'll say here type, and here we are going to say $auth constants dot user underscore login underscore failure, right? Failure, and then payload will be error, right? So it will be an error, right? Save it. And so our action is sign in action is almost ready, and it is exactly like what we are expecting in the reducer also. So we have that success underscore success and action.payload.user. So you can see that is payload and that user, right? So that is very nice. And for the other cases, we are also handling that part. Okay, let's go and reducer. Okay, for the failure, action.payload.error, and for the request, authenticating will be true. Okay, fine. Let's execute our cases or responses. Now let's do the sign up process again, and we'll say here. Let's do the sign up process, and we'll say. Now we will do the sign up process again. There was a couple of things I have done before starting this video. That's why it was trouble. So let's give it a name. First name Nadeem Ashraf, and we'll say Nadeem@webscript.info and password. Okay, now sign up, user login request. Okay, the sign up process already completed. Then it's begin to process of logged in, and then you can see the user logged in successfully, and then user login success. That's dispatch something. Okay, the first name, last name, and all, right? So it's we have created a user, right? And that's okay. So we have these things. Let's clear your console window local storage clear. So it will remove the local storage. Now reload again and try to sign in, because we have created a sign in action. We want to see that in action. So we'll say Nadeem@webscript.info password and log in, and then it's a user login request, and this is also success. And you can see this is logged in user. This is existing user, right? We are in the and what first name and last name A. This is not what we want. So let's scrap your user, and so it has a display name, right? Oh my god. Okay, so the problem is in the sign in action, right? So let's go auth.actions, and here we have to say .split. The name has a space, right? So now it will have name will be an array, and then we can get the correct name. So let's reload again and clear console. Okay, let's log in again and password. Now log in. It's a login request, and this is completed, and you can see the payload. Payload is first name Nadeem, last name Ashraf, UID is also there, email is also here. So you can it's now fine, right? We can also see the state with the help of window.store.getState. Here you can see the couple of more options what we are going to see, authenticated true. So with the help of authenticated true, we'll navigate this user to the home page. Let's go to your login page, and let's get the authentication const from the redux store auth equals to, we are going to use a hook again, use selector, that's state, and we'll say what are we going to say, state.auth. Okay, cool, this is fine. Okay, see, let's go down, and before return we are going to write if authenticated. If this is true, and if this is true, then simply return a redirect. Okay, and redirect will be to the home page. Okay, so redirect will be home page. Let's go and check your browser and reload your page. Okay, now let's try to log in again. Nadeem@webscript password. Clear your browser, log in, and login request. And you can see we are in the home page, and within a warning that's from the browser. That's the home page. Right? It's working well. Now we are going to add a couple of things over here. We are going to handle the other cases for the in case of header, right? So you go here, index.js, and get the auth details. Const auth equals to use selector, and we'll say state state.auth, right? And here we are going to say show these things only for the users who is not logged in. So we'll say auth.authenticated. If that's not true, then we'll show this one. Okay, else it will be null for remaining users. And scroll down. Here we are going to have high-res. So here we are going to show the name of the user, right? So we'll say auth.authenticated. If that's true, then we'll show the name. Okay, we'll say hi dollar or first name. Sorry, it is going to be auth dot first name space dollar again, and auth dot last name. Okay, so something wrong, yeah, then at else case it will be an empty, right? Now go again, and for the logout, so this is we are going to show only in case of logged in user. So auth dot authenticated. If that's true, then show this logout. Else it will be null, right? So if true, then we'll show the logout. If true, then we'll show the first name last name. If true, then we'll show the null. Else we'll show the login and sign up. So let's go back your browser and reload your page, and we are again in the home page. That's because of the route. Let's go to the login and do the login process. So we'll say where is let's log in again, and sorry we are doing it again and again. That's because this is not completed yet. Login and user login request, and you can see what we have: hi Nadeem Ashraf, logout, and web messenger, right? So we have handled this process header. And if you want to go to the login page from browser, then you are able to navigate to the login page. That's because we haven't added anything in this login page. So you can go to the login page again. That's in the case of reload. If you reload, then all the problems will come, right? If you reload, then first thing you will lost all the values will be whatever the values available in the redux store, you will simply lost. Okay, so we are going to say here login index.js, and so we have to create one more action just to check the user is logged in or not. So here we are going to go and where is the auth actions, right? Okay, so auth, this is for the cases like whenever user reload the pages. It could be login page, sign up page, or any page, right? And for the logged in users like home page, and if there are more pages, private route will be there to handle those cases. But for the pages which are public, for that we have to write an action, right? Const will say export const, and we'll say is logged in user, and this will be an empty. Return, say the dispatch, and this is not going to be an asynchronous function, or it doesn't matter, you can write an asynchronous function, but we are not going to make a call anything, right? So we are going to check the local storage is exists or not. See, when you are reloading the page, you are losing all the values from the redux store. Okay, now for the logged in user, some value will be in the local storage. So that's what we are going to check, our local storage in case of reload user, right? Okay, let's write. Okay, we'll say the local storage dot get item, and the property name is the user. So if that key exists, we'll simply use a function json dot parse and local storage dot get item, and then here we'll say the user, right? And else it will be simply null, that's false case. Okay, we'll store it in some value, const user here, right? And let's down this, and here we are going to check if user is something like some value, it means obviously that's from the what we have saved, so it will be a logged in user, right? So we'll dispatch action type, or simply you can copy it from the top in case of success. Copy and back here. So we'll dispatch this. In else case, we will dispatch something else. Okay, success, I will say the failure, and then we'll dispatch an error message, and it will be login again please. Okay, let's save it, and this is the action is login user. So the important thing is where you are going to place it. So this login user, let's try to place this in the login page first. Okay, so here we can place it, and let's place it. So we are going to write something similar to the component did mount. So after the render we will check it. So we'll say use effect, and it takes a callback function, okay, with the second parameter empty array in case of component did mount, if you're trying to create something like that. Now we'll check if auth dot authenticated. If that's true, then we don't need to execute rest of the cases, right? A user is already logged in. But if it is not true, then we'll check the local storage. We'll say dispatch and is logged in user, right? So this is another function we have. This is another action we have just created right now. So you can say is logged in user. It's already imported and reloaded. Okay, let's go back, and you can see logged in user is not defined. Auth.actions logged in user is not defined. Yes, that is not defined. That's because user. So you can say here it's user, or simply you can keep it like that, so it will take automatically because the both key and values name are same. Okay, you are in the home page. Now reload it. Okay, in case of home page, it's some problem is here. Oh, that's a header, right? So we haven't we are in the home page, and this is the header. We are not checking anything in the header in case of if we are reloading it, right? Let's try to go to the login page, and you can see if you try to go to the login page and you will see the immediate action. That's because we have just added an action, right? It is going to check user is logged in or not. Okay, so let's reload again, and you can see back, you are in the home page, but if you try to go to the login page, it will send you back to the home page with complete details and name and all, right? But if you reload in the home page, again you'll see the login sent. So what you can do, you can check this thing. Either you can do one thing like you can go to your home page, and here you can write something like if you can do here, you can simply get the auth over here, and you can check if auth is auth or authenticated is false, then send him back to the login page, right? Then it will be in the login page, and then it will execute use effect method, and it will then execute is logged in user, and it will find something in the local storage. If it finds, then it will send you back to the home page with all the details, right? So you can do this thing, that is like you have to do everywhere like that, or you can simply go to your main root component. Instead of placing everywhere this detail, see, you can get this, you can copy it, and you can copy in all the components, right? But that's totally out of the concept of dry. Let's comment, let's copy, let's comment, save, and go to your root component. Instead of doing everywhere, do at one place, because this is where we are navigating users to the home page and all. So let's do here, save it, and let's get the auth import. And okay, first thing we want dispatch. So dispatch is there, right? Okay, cool. And we'll say here use effect, save it, and let's get the dispatch. So const, and we'll say dispatch equals to use dispatch. So it is imported use dispatch, so we can dispatch the action. Also we need is logged in user, that is from the action. Now we have to write something, and we say from actions, right? And here we are going to say is logged in user. Okay, so here we are checking, instead of in all the components, we can simply check in the root component, because everything is coming from the root component. You can watch my second video of this series if you want to know more. Now auth is not defined, that's because this auth, right? Let's get the auth, and we'll say const auth equals to use selector. So this is another hook, and you have to get this from the React Redux. You can see on the line number 8. Okay, and state dot auth. Cool, and now everything will be fine, right? Let's go, and you can see we are in the home page with all details. Now let's reload it, and again we have our details. Hi Nadeem Ashraf. Okay, let's reload it, and all the time it's working very well. Now okay, if you try to go to the login page, and you are logged in user, so you will simply navigating back to the home page. So guys, this is working well. We have everything set up successfully. This approach or concept you can also apply in the in case of APIs you are calling for the authentication and all. So this doesn't limit it to the firestore. You can use this concept anywhere. So guys, thank you so much, thanks for watching, and don't forget to share this with your friends, and please do like, share, and subscribe. And okay, thank you, bye.